What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna do a cooling system clean on the Cummins and get that all filled back up with some good ELC. We're using all cat products today, so we're gonna give it a try. This is what we got going on right here. So we got 8 gallons of distilled water, 3 quarts of the cat cooling system cleaner. I've never actually used this, but we're gonna give it a try. I get a deal since I work with them. Supposedly it's really good stuff. Should do the job hopefully, and then once we get everything cleaned out, we're gonna run it through with the cleaner and a set of distilled water, and then we'll do another run of distilled water after that to clean the cleaner out, and then fill her with the ELC. So we're gonna get after this, and we'll put you guys on a speed lapse of it going on. First thing, before we really do the flush and everything, we have to finish bleeding the steering gearbox, so that'll take us a few minutes, but after that we should be going. So. Here for the last little bit is we put some of the cleaner solution in and then filled it with distilled water, and we ran it for about an hour, got it all up to temp, ran it at high idle, got it all hot, made sure that that stuff was circulating through the system, and now we're draining it out, and I'll show you what that looks like here. You can kind of see what we got out of there. Some pretty cruddy looking water, lots of rust and other little bits of stuff. Just kind of a pool of it. But from here we're gonna let this finish draining out. I'm gonna add some distilled water to the top to kind of flush the radiator out, and then we'll close the drain valve back off, fill it all the way with just distilled water, and we'll run it again, get it hot again. I'll probably let it cool off that time, and then pop the lower radiator hose all the way off, get as much out as I can, and then we'll fill it with the ELC and call it good. And hopefully that'll be good enough. We shall see.
ditch. Got a hole in the finger. Oh, that was warm. That was warm. Yeah, I got my knee in.
Looks way cleaner. Okay, so we just popped that bottom hose. You can see much cleaner. Actually, it looks like water coming out of there, which is what we want at this point. So we're gonna let this drain and get every little bit out that we can, and we will refill it and get all the air bled out, and we should be good to go.
Nice. Why did I put?
Well guys, we've got the coolant flush all finished up, and it's looking a lot better. That last set of distilled water came out super clean, looks like water, which is what we wanted it to do. Now when we pulled that bottom line off, I wore a welding glove because obviously that is boiling hot water. It runs about 180, 190 degrees. I don't actually suggest doing that. It's not very safe. You definitely risk the chance of getting burned. A little bit got on my arm. It didn't burn me, but it was still not, it's not as safe as the way you should. Probably would be better to let it cool down a little bit before you popped anything loose or anything like that, but for time constraints today, we just went ahead and did that real quick. Tried to be as safe as we could and stay out of the way, but yeah, overall it worked really well. We got lots of little stuff to finish on this guy, get the doors back together and all that kind of stuff before it's back to drivable, and obviously paint and whatnot, but it's moving right along. It's doing good, and hopefully in a couple weeks we'll be able to take this thing for a ride.